Interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live Weather Authority coverage starts right now.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. 6 days out from the eclipse, 2 days, or really a day and a half out from a major April snowstorm headed our way, looking to bring us some big totals of snow in many spots as we head into tomorrow night and into Thursday. So again, thanks for joining, everybody. I'll let some of you guys join in before we jump into the nuts and bolts of our forecast here. But again, yes, an April snowstorm headed our way. It's been a few years since we've seen anything of this magnitude in the month of April in Maine, even a couple decades in some spots. So yeah, pretty significant snowstorm headed our way. Unfortunately, power issues going to be a big concern with this one as it's a heavy, wet snow, and high winds, unfortunately, are also a concern with this storm as well. So again, not the most fun here for this one. But again, at least it melts quickly because after all, it is April. So again, thanks for joining, everybody. Of course, we're talking about the storm. No major changes. If you were tuning into my Facebook Live yesterday, nothing crazy has changed between now and then. The timing of the worst weather may have slowed a little bit in that it will last longer, it looks like, into Thursday. But again, nothing's changed with our concerns here. Heavy, wet snow leading to power outages. It's also a long-lasting storm still. Wednesday evening all the way through Friday morning, and we'll see lingering showers persisting all the way into Saturday. So again, a long duration event looks to be on the way for most of us. In terms of today, though, looking beautiful out there. It's going to be a really nice day. Get out and enjoy it once again. Near 50 in Portland, 51 in Lewiston, 53 for today in the Freiburg area. All right, this is why you're here. We're talking about this storm. Let's jump right into snow totals. As more of you guys join in, I can loop back to this, of course, but let's talk about what we're expecting in terms of totals for everybody right along the immediate coastline. So if you live really close to the water, probably in that 5 to 10 inch range, especially down in York County, where the totals do look lower due to some mixing. Now, Portland, we're right on the line. It looks like the Westbrook side of town, North Deering neighborhood even, as opposed to the South Portland side of town, will be getting more snow. So depending on which side of Portland you're on, there will likely be a difference in the snow totals, potentially several inches of difference in the snow totals, maybe a half foot or so in downtown, upwards of 10 inches in downtown, all the way up to a foot or more on the outskirts of town as you head further inland. If you're in Lewiston watching me right now, 12 to 18 inches. That is an increase from what I had on our map for yesterday. So again, it does look like we will see some higher totals there. The bullseye, though, if you're watching me from Porter, you're watching from Limerick, Leamington, you guys are sort of the bullseye. Freiburg, up towards that area, even over towards Bridgeton, Naples. That looks like it could be the bullseye for this storm. Models have been very insistent on showing some very heavy snow totals in the Freiburg area and in western Maine in general, where we could see 1.5 feet or more of snow. Looks a little less over towards, say, Augusta. Looks like 8 to 14 inches there, and the mid-coast also included in that range. So Wiscasset, 8 to 14 inches for you, Barbara. Looks like a foot is a very easy thing for you guys to do. Would not be surprised if you guys end up getting that 8 to 14 inch range. Falmouth looks like 5 to 10, but probably on the higher end of that, more towards the 8 to 14 inch range there. Again, along the coast, it's just a very big difference in just a couple of miles. So if you're, say, 5-10 miles inland, you'll probably get a lot more snow than places that are just down the coastline. For Sebattis, I saw someone comment about that. It looks like 8 to 14 for you guys, Diane, in Sebattis. So upwards of a foot, but still a good amount there. In Old Orchard, 5 to 10 inches. Buxton looks like 8 to 14 inches for you guys, but not far away is 12 to 18 inches of snow. So it wouldn't shock me if you guys got over a foot there in the Buxton area. Brunswick, it looks like 8 to 14 inches for you guys over in Brunswick. Lois, still looks like a good bet there. Cape Elizabeth, 5 to 10 inches. Ben, Gorham, 8 to 14 inches looks likely. Yeah, if you have got kids in school you're watching right now, I would expect to have canceled school on Thursday. Very few times you can lock that in, but this seems like a case where you probably can lock that in for a lot of us. Lewiston, right there in the middle of the 12 to 18, as you can see. Dresden, Maine, also looking like a good amount of snow for you guys up towards mid-coast Maine, more in the 8 to 14-inch range there for the Dresden area. Nicole, Saco, it looks like 5 to 10 inches for you guys, probably on the lower end of that, more towards 5 inches. York County along the coastline, you guys are getting by far the least snow. So if you're watching from Kittery, you guys are getting the least amount of snow, maybe only a couple slushy inches there before things start to mix or turn over to even some rainfall. So Westbrook and Windham, 8 to 14 inches for you guys. Very good chance you end up with a foot of snow in both Westbrook and Windham. What time will this start? This starts tomorrow evening, 4 to 9 p.m. The worst weather doesn't start till about 10 p.m. to midnight, though, tomorrow night. So a lot of us are in pretty good shape until the late evening hours for tomorrow. We'll get into the timing coming up here in just a second. I'm thinking you mean Phippsburg, Bonnie. Looks like 5 to 10 inches for you guys right there on the immediate coastline. Again, a significant storm. And again, if you're watching from the Porter area, Limerick, Leamington, you guys do look to be the bullseye with potentially the highest totals. 8 to 14 inches for you in Noblesboro. Yeah, this is the non-fun part of this storm. The power outages are going to be a big concern here. It looks potentially as bad as the ice storm as we saw a week or so ago with the heavy wet snow, with the strong winds. Unfortunately, I know no one loves to say that, but it does look like the power outages are a big concern. Gray area looks like potentially nearing that 12 to 18 inch zone there. At least upwards of a foot will fall in gray. How long will this take to melt in Portland? I bet you by next Tuesday even, most of the snow will be gone in Portland. It will melt very, very fast, which is some good news. Livermore Falls, looks like 12 to 18 inches for you guys, Becky. Very good amount of snow up there. Definitely will be shoveling and plowing on Thursday afternoon into Friday. Your drive home from Westbrook, 11 p.m. Wednesday night, Erica. It depends where you're driving to, but I think you'll be okay. It's not going to be too horrible by that point. There just won't be that much snow on the ground at that point. It will be coming down, though. Just be aware. It probably won't be the worst drive ever, but it won't be the most fun drive because it will still be snowing. Yeah. Here we go again, and timeline and starting in Bangor. Yeah, a lot of people asking about the timing. We'll come back to our snow map, of course, but I do want to talk about the timing of this storm and what we're expecting with it. And someone had mentioned power outages. Let's talk about power outages as well. So we're quiet all day today. Most of tomorrow, we are pretty quiet as well. Now, 4 to 9 p.m. If you're watching right now, again, that is our go time, it looks like, for this storm. 4 to 9 p.m. or so, we'll see that moving on in. May start as a little rain, but it does quickly turn over to some heavy snow. I guess we're having some issues with our timing here. Let's try to go through that again, but it does seem like we are going to see that timing beginning around 4 to 9 p.m. tomorrow night. So let's give this another go. Hopefully our storm tracker won't fail on us this time. Yeah, it begins tomorrow evening. It really builds in overnight. The worst weather arriving after midnight or so, and continuing through I guess we're just not going to have a storm tracker. That is lovely. Love when that just cuts out on you right when you want to talk about something important, of course. But yeah, let's talk about the timing. Again, the worst of it is Thursday morning, a 12-hour window, midnight tomorrow night to about midnight on Thursday. Hopefully we'll get a better breakdown of this. But again, oh man, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed at our storm tracker for doing that, and our wind tracker going out as well. It seems like all of our data is having some issues here getting pulled in. It doesn't look like it's showing up properly here for some reason. Not sure why that's the issue, but again, the winds are such a big concern. Power outages also look like a big concern. So it's a long duration event here, you guys. Man, I wish I had some graphics to show you guys. That would be really nice, right? But yeah, our eclipse forecast looks pretty good beyond all of this stormy weather that we are going to see this week. All right, let's go back to our snow map. That's the only thing I can show you since none of our graphics seem to be working here. But again, we are going to I'll try my best to work through this timing here with you guys. Again, we're going to see that storm really getting going tomorrow evening, 4 to 9 p.m. Yeah, does not want to work today. Man, that's really frustrating. All right, let's talk about the totals that we're expecting here. Let's go back to our totals. Here we go. There's our totals. Again, the highest totals are going to be in western Maine, northern York County, up into the mountains. No, it is not gone at 8 p.m. tomorrow, or on Thursday, I should say. This continues into Friday, even into Saturday, especially up by UNJ. It might still be snowing on Saturday evening at 8 p.m. Saturday. It might still be snowing. 4 days we are dealing with this storm. So can't stress that enough either. There's a big risk because the storm is so long duration as well. Yeah, I would say so, Becky. I would say that the groundhog definitely mistaken, and definitely be careful with secondary heat sources, especially if you lose power. Again, be very cautious. Also, would highly recommend fueling up those generators. Again, it does look like we are going to see a lot of wind with this, and widespread power issues are looking likely as well. So let's talk Jackman, Christopher saying Jackman, 12 to 18 inches for you guys. The higher elevations around town, though, 18 inches or more looks pretty likely. Yeah, definitely a big storm for us here, especially going to be during the morning hours on Thursday. So, great question here, Crystal. How long do these strong winds last for? Luckily, the worst of the winds, it's only a fairly shorter window, mostly on Thursday morning. By Thursday afternoon, at the very least, the winds are letting up quite a bit. It is calming down Thursday afternoon and evening. But again, Thursday morning, those winds are going to be quite rough out there, and the wind will lead to near blizzard conditions at times. Waterville looks like 8 to 14 inches for you guys, Patty. Bridgeton, 12 to 18. I have a feeling you might get pulled into that 18 plus range. Very good shot of 1.5 feet or more even of snow there in Bridgeton. At the very least, a foot of snow on the way for Bridgeton, Lori. So plenty of snow for you guys there. Lots of shoveling and plowing going to be going on out in the lakes region. I'm trying my best to get through the timing here with you guys. I really would love our storm tracker to be working here, but it seems like it has been having some issues. Let's try it again to go through it on Wednesday evening. Yeah, still not working. So I'm going to try my best to break down the timing here for you here with a banner. So bear with me while I write this down real quick. Storm begins 4 to 9 p.m. on Thursday. Worst conditions are midnight to noon on Thursday. Strongest winds 3 a.m. to 2 p.m. Whole storm wraps up Thursday night. There we go. Since we're having some issues, you guys, with our graphics here, I'm going to try to write everything down for you here. So hopefully everybody can see that banner that we've got. I'm also going to go back to our snow map here so we can talk about that. This is the only graphic I can show you. Unfortunately, you guys are having some graphic issues here. But again, this is a significant storm, 18 inches, and the wind cannot be overstated here. Big wind factor, even though I can't show you our wind speeds. I can't show you the timing either. But again, the storm begins 4 to 9 p.m. Thursday. The worst conditions are going to be midnight to noon on Thursday. So 12-hour window. It looks like midnight tomorrow night through about noon or into the early afternoon on Thursday. But as that powerful April sun gets high in the sky, I think we'll see a lot of road improvements heading into the afternoon on Thursday. The strongest winds come after midnight tomorrow night through the early afternoon. It does look like the storm begins to wind down at the very least Thursday night. But again, we're going to see lingering rain and snow showers all the way until Saturday. So very long duration. Yes, Kittery area, Devin, you're the lowest totals in the whole state. Well under 5, maybe a 2 or 3 inches there before you guys change over to rain. Standish on the 18 inches line. Yes, solid 14, 15 inches of snow on the way there, Chris, at the very least. So yeah, at the least you're getting a lot of snow. Farmington, 12 to 18. Wouldn't shock me if you guys pull out over 18. Limerick, Sandra commenting in from Limerick. You're commenting in from the bullseye in totals, 18 inches or more. Looking pretty likely out there with this storm. 4 to 9 p.m. Wednesday. Yes, that's correct. That is absolutely right. I should edit that banner for sure. Sorry, guys, trying to type on the fly here. It just definitely messes up a detail every once in a while. All right, and there we go. There we go. Storm begins 4 to 9 p.m. on Wednesday. Thank you so much for catching that. Thank you guys. It's all a team effort here, right? With this kind of a storm. Lewiston, potentially. I don't think blizzard conditions will be towards inland areas. That would be more towards the coastline, but can't rule it out. It will be very windy out there. Old Orchard, 5 to 10. Bath, it looks like 8 to 14 inches for you, although depending on which side of Bath you're on, maybe more towards the 5 to 10 inch range as you are closer to the close coastline over there in Bath. Wyndham, a little bit further inland, it looks like 8 to 14 inches there. Same with New Gloucester, 8 to 14. Could end up on the higher end, though, in the 12 to 18 inch zone. Scarborough, 5 to 10 inches, looks most likely there. West Paris, 12 to 18 inches, looking pretty likely. Same with South Paris and Norway, gray in that 8 to 14. Lewiston in the 12 to 18 inches. Wells, 5 to 10, probably less than 5 inches, though, in Wells, the immediate coastline in York County, Janet, not getting all that much snow. Jay, 12 to 18, potentially even more than that. And again, my timing, you guys look at the banner at the bottom of the screen there. That's the timing, 4 to 9 p.m. for a generalization of when this begins, maybe a little before that in far southern Maine, maybe a little after that if you're, let's say, in Augusta. But again, that's the timing. It looks like 4 to 9 p.m. tomorrow it begins. Worst conditions, midnight tomorrow night to about noon on Thursday. Strongest winds combined with the worst conditions, 3 a.m. to about 2 p.m. on Thursday. And then the storm wraps up with the worst conditions, at least on Thursday night. So Poland, 12 to 18, Bridgeton, 18 plus potentially, John. Yes, you guys are very close to that. And again, I've been mentioning there's going to be a bullseye somewhere near Bridgeton, Freiburg, Cornish, Porter, up towards, let's say, Leamington, Limerick area, potentially over towards Naples and Bridgeton as well. So very possible there, John. Either way, a lot of snow is expected in Bridgeton. And I'm hoping this too, Jennifer. Hint, hint, next week, it's going to be in the 60s, it looks like, for a lot of us. So yeah, we are going to get through this and see some nice weather, it looks like. Will it be enough to cancel school? Great question, Kayla. Absolutely. I think we're going to see widespread cancellations. In fact, I think that there will be very few people in Maine that are in school on Thursday. It looks like we'll have a widespread school cancellation sort of event here. Portsmouth, Kittery, Elliott, not much snow for you guys. It looks like a lot of mixing, cuts down on your totals. Other than a couple inches or a few inches, you're seeing sleet, you're seeing rain, not a whole lot of snow actually falling there. 12 to 18 inches expected in Auburn, Christina. Portland, it looks like, or Christine, I'm sorry. Portland, it does look like right on the line, 5 to 10 inches. So Destiny, depending on what neighborhood you live in Portland, there may be some differences. If you live across the bridge, let's say over towards South Portland, probably more in the 5 or 10 inch range. If you live in North Deering, a foot of snow seems likely. Either way, 6 inches to a foot is a pretty good bet for us here in the Portland area. Yes, 60s on the way next week. We can make it, you guys. So yeah, not too far away. We just got to make it through this. It'll melt very quickly. Again, with that on the way next week, by Tuesday, Wednesday timeframe, probably going to be melting a lot of that snow very quickly. More towards the coastline, Hillary, for those power outages. There probably will be some outages inland just because of the volume of snow. Even if it wasn't windy at all, we'd probably still have outages just because 18 inches of heavy, wet snow pulls down power outages and trees, or power lines and trees on their own. But definitely more of a coastal issue here with this storm. Mass is just getting rain, maybe a little snow in the northern part of the state. Yeah, so all right, Roy, I know it's going to be a bloody mess. That is true. It will be a mess, that's for sure. Brunswick on the line here. Brunswick in the 8 to 14 inch range. It looks like pretty good shot of at least 6 inches or more of snow there. Up in Holton and northern Maine, less in the 8 to 14 inch range. It looks like Bethel, 12 to 18. But if you're on a mountain surrounding Bethel, really good shot of 18 inches or more. Yeah, day off of work for a lot of people. Gorham looking like it's also going to be in that 8 to 14 inch range. So yeah, a lot of snow on the way for you guys in the Gorham area, anywhere around Portland, really. This is probably a bigger snowstorm than the one we saw a week and a half ago. Okay, Waterboro, 12 to 18. I've had a couple people commenting from Waterboro, Sarah and Sam. 12 to 18 inches for you guys. Wouldn't shock me if some of y'all end up getting more than 18 inches of snow. So yes, a big storm for Waterboro. Sanford, around a foot. Yeah, 8 to 14 inches of snow, around a foot. Pretty good bet there, Ryan. Paris, 12 to 18 inches. Hills outside of town, 18 inches or more, certainly possible. Very similar story in Norway. In general, 12 to 18 inches expected there, but again, if you're on a little bit of higher elevation, very well could see more than 18 inches. Wyndham, 8 to 14 inches. Paris, 12 to 18 inches. Lewiston, 12 to 18. No, you guys are solidly in that 12 to 18, Heather. Definitely getting 12 to 18, it looks like there. Lori in Auburn, 12 to 18 inches there. And what about Sopo? It looks like 5 to 10 inches, South Portland, Scarborough, some of the lower totals there because we will see a little mixing. 12 to 18 in Rumford and in Dixfield as well, Windy and Delaney. It looks like those areas, potentially the higher elevations, though, could see a little bit more. All right, I'm going to wrap things up here in a minute, you guys. I do want to try to get through the timing of this one more time. It's, again, our graphics. I don't know what sort of issue they're having. I won't be able to fix it, of course, until after I'm done talking to you guys. But I do want to talk about the timing. Again, 4 to 9 p.m. Wednesday, that storm gets going, really ramps up overnight. Here's the worst of the weather on Thursday morning. I guess we're getting a little something working here, you guys. Yeah, here we are, 7 a.m., whiteout conditions and travel. Yes, whiteout conditions are likely with this. It's going to be pretty messy. And Lisbon Falls, yes, you guys are at risk for power outages there. Not as high of a risk as at the coastline, but prepare like you're going to lose power either way. This is what, our 6th major storm this winter that's brought widespread power issues. Good idea to be prepared. Even if this one ends up underperforming with the power outages, good idea to be prepared. Farmington, you guys are getting 18 plus inches of snow potentially. You guys are going to get buried in Bridgeton or Brenda. It does look like you guys potentially could be one of the higher totals. Power outage concerns are definitely there. No freezing rain, ice concerns. Alex making a great point here. We're still 48 hours out. That could change, but I don't think we're going to see lots of icing. It's snow or it's rain, it looks like, in heavy wet snow at that. The power outage concerns are from the heavy wet nature of the snow. Gray, yes, a good 14 inches or so there. Should melt pretty fast. That's right, Palmer. It does look like it's melting pretty quickly. So again, lots of heavy snow all through the day on Thursday. This is 2 p.m. Notice not much change in our conditions. It's coming down pretty much every minute of the day. There probably will be some improvements later in the day on Thursday. But again, it does look like a lot of snow coming down all day long on Thursday. So don't expect much improvement overall to travel conditions really until we get into Friday. Notice it's still snowing hard Thursday at 7 p.m. Noticeable trend, you guys, if you're watching right now, there's been a noticeable trend to keep all snow potentially heavy at times, even down towards the coastline all day on Thursday. There may be some tweaks to the snow map in a higher direction towards the coastline if that trend continues. So again, we'll keep watching this. Still have a little bit to go until the storm starts. Now let's talk about winds. They're really going to be ramping up. It does look like the wind potential is going to cause those power issues here. Wind gusts, unfortunately, up to 40 to 50 miles per hour along the coastline could lead to widespread power issues. Inland areas could see that as well, but it looks like mainly a coastal issue here again. If you're just tuning in, I'm sorry, we're having some graphics issues here. None of the numbers for the winds are showing up for some reason, but it does look like there will be a big wind threat with this system. The snow comes to an end only and on Saturday, it looks like for a lot of us. It does turn over to rain at the coast by Friday afternoon. It's mostly rain on Saturday as well, outside of the mountains, but we'll see some snow falling in Maine all the way until Saturday evening. All right, wrapping up one final time here, you guys, on our snow map. Charlie, of course, we'll have another update for you guys later on today. Up in Norway, it's 12 to 18 inches. Gorham, you guys are getting 8 to 14. South Hiram, 12 to 18 inches, it looks like. Let me make sure I'm placing South Hiram right in my head, you guys. Oh, yeah, no, South Hiram, you guys are in that bullseye zone. 18 inches or more, Amber, very well could fall in South Hiram. I'm eyeing northern York counties. If you're north of, well north of Sanford, let's say 20 miles north of Sanford, you're probably getting quite a lot of snow if you live in the northern part of York County. If you live just south of Freiburg in the Bridgeton, Naples area, notice that 18 plus zone. I'll put my mouse cursor over it here. This zone, that's the bullseye probably with this storm. It just looks like models have been very insistent on giving you guys potentially some of the most snow out of this storm. Someone asking about Acton, also in York County, right along the border with New Hampshire. Probably more in the 12 to 18 inches for you guys, probably just out of the bullseye zone there, Thomas, but a good foot of snow is on the way for you guys. Coming home from Boston Wednesday night. Well, if you're coming home before midnight, probably okay, Amanda, especially earlier in the evening. You're coming home at 8 p.m., you're almost definitely okay. But the later you push it, the worse the conditions will be. So just do with that what you will. Caribou, northern Maine, looking to get a little less snow, where this is a western Maine snowstorm for sure. Up towards Leeds, Maine, again, looks like you guys are also getting a good amount of snowfall as well. And again, sorry if it takes me a minute to get to your town. Sometimes I just want to Google them to make sure I'm placing these right. But again, Leeds, Maine, who's commenting there, Andrea, 12 to 18 inches for you guys in Leeds. Glad I'm not living in southern Maine. Yeah, we're getting quite a lot of snow here. Lincoln County over in the mid-coast, northern part of the county, 8 to 14. Southern part towards the coastline, more like 5 to 10 inches there, Lacey, for you. Lewiston, 12 to 18 inches of snow. I saw someone also commenting in Windsor, I want to say. That is up near the Augusta area. Yes, I was right. Okay, good job, me. 8 to 14 inches, it looks like, is most likely in the Windsor area. Terry was commenting that. Yes, and Freeport. Yes, a couple of people, 2 in a row here. Louise and Angela asking about Freeport. 8 to 14 inches there, especially since you guys are a little further inland than the immediate coastline. It looks like another foot. Yeah, Livermore, Megan, you guys are going to get buried again. I would not be shocked if you guys end up with 18 inches of snow, maybe even a little more in the Livermore area. The 2 biggest storms of the winter coming after the first day of spring. I mean, put that in perspective. Isn't that crazy? You guys just can't believe it. It's unbelievable that we just had a storm like this about a week or so ago, and here we are doing it again. I know a lot of people ready for spring. I certainly am as well. And Casco, 12 to 18 for you guys out in Casco. And a lot of snow on the way for y'all out there. Buckfield, I've actually seen a couple people commenting about Buckfield. Again, I want to make sure I'm placing that exactly right within our snow map here. Buckfield, yeah, 12 to 18 for you guys in Buckfield. And hills outside of town or up above town, upwards of 18 plus inches. Brunswick, it looks like 8 to 14 for you guys. Yes, and remember, if you live near Lewiston, you can probably just pick Lewiston, and those totals will probably be pretty similar. Going to wrap up with Diana's comment here. Naples, again, could end up in that bullseye where we do end up seeing more than 18 inches of snow. So we're going to keep watching that bullseye. It may end up growing a little bit or shifting further to the south and east. So Lakes region, hang on. Your totals might be ticking up a little bit. And on the coast, this is a very, very wet snow. Be very careful shoveling it. This is a backbreaking kind of snow, heart attack snow, as we like to say here. So yeah, again, definitely want to be using caution when you're shoveling the snow. So going to wrap things up here, you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in and all the engagement. We really appreciate that. Love when you guys comment. It's fun to interact with all of you guys about this storm. Sorry about the graphics issues as well. If you were watching earlier, hopefully going to get those resolved here. So again, significant storm on the way. We're going to keep you posted on what we're expecting here. We'll be live on Good Day Maine on Thursday morning tracking the storm. I think Emily Santom is coming in early to do some storm coverage too. So should be a wild morning on Thursday. Hopefully you can spend it warm, cozy indoors without losing power. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll keep you posted on this storm. I'm sure Charlie will be on later today with another Facebook Live as well. And of course, you can follow any of us on social media and tune into Good Day Maine tomorrow, or be right back here this time tomorrow. I'll also have another Facebook Live for us. So again, have a great rest of your day, everybody.
This has been live Interactive Weather Authority